Hello, I'm Jade and this is my self-portrait. I think I'm funny. I don't know if people laugh with us or at us, but I think I'm funny anyway. I think I'm confident. Well, I am. I look confident to people, but sometimes I'm not. I don't really know. I take one day at a time and never make plans because you never know how they're going to turn out. I live in a tiny place called Camas. It's by the sea in Northumberland. I'm used to living in big towns and cities, so it was a bit of a culture shock when I lived there. It's really a safe place though, but I call it the place what time forgot. We've got the beach and the sea, which I really like. There's no shops. There's literally nothing for your children to do. It's a small place, everybody knows each other. Like, I've got really good friends there. I really, really like that, which I've never had before. I had a really difficult childhood. When I was young, I went into care and I met people who changed us totally in the wrong way. I think nobody really cared about me, so I didn't really care about myself. I was absolutely wild. I used to drink, I used to take drugs. I never used to wear contraception. It was just what I did. No one could handle it. Looking back, I don't even know how I survived. I was 17 when I fell pregnant with my first son and 18 when I had him. And then when he was 3 months old, I fell pregnant again. My first pregnancy was planned. It sounds weird, I was a teenager who planned a pregnancy, but I definitely wasn't ready for 2. It was totally different. I was depressed. It's awful, but I didn't want him. I wasn't ready for 2 at all. I felt totally ashamed telling the family, and everybody's reactions was totally different. I was a teenager who planned a pregnancy, then I was a teenager who really didn't want to be a mum the second time round, so I sort of started to understand what teenagers must feel like not to want a baby. And I knew I couldn't cope. I knew I wouldn't be able to cope with a 1-year-old and then a newborn. I even started smoking and drinking again, which I never did with my first son. With my first child, I was always happy and I was getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and feeding him, changing him, and I was staying up. I was awake. But with my second one, I was tired and I used to feed him and then go back to sleep. It just wasn't the same with 2. I didn't even really have my boyfriend to lean on as well because he just totally went off the rails. He would go out all night and not come back. And if it wasn't for my best friend, Vicky, I don't know how I would have coped. She was like my rock. In fact, she still is my rock. She's still there for us. I think it's really important to have people around you for support, and especially who love you. Friends, family, you need somebody. I really don't think you should go it alone because it just cracks you up. I think if I didn't have people there, I would have cracked up. I wasn't feeling right. It was horrible. 8:05 in the morning. I've slept in, so I'm very tired. I had the stupid knocking on my door 1:45 this morning. So anyway, I'm gonna get the bed ready for school now. In the morning, it's an absolute mad rush. I've got to get up in the morning, get the kids' breakfast ready. I've got to brush their hair, get them ready. Just getting ready, Vinny ready for school, and I've just got to put his shoes on, as you can see. Get his shoes and Vinny will put them. I've got to run them over to school because half the time I'm late, but when I get back it's absolutely bliss. I can have my cup of tea, I have a tab, then I normally put my makeup on and it's just my time. I absolutely love makeup, I love all the colours and I experiment with loads. It's just the way I express myself. That's just me, that's who I am. What are you doing? Nose. Tell the camera what you're doing.
I'm not doing.
What you doing?
Just chilling.
Doing what?
No. Smoking time. Look at me. Just look at the camera.
No. What you doing?
Smoking time.
No. What are you watching?
The telly.
No, you're not watching the telly. What are you watching?
The telly.
Come, shall we show you what he's watching? That's what he's watching.
What's your look like?
How bloody boring is that? God. Sometimes I feel really strong and confident, but other times I feel really weak, and I feel like my life's going round and round in circles. I found it really hard going out in public with my son, with both of them. I used to have to make sure they were like perfect. If they had a little dirt on that top, I would change it, because I felt people judged you and looked at you funny. It was when you used to go to get them weighed, you used to panic if they had like a little mark on their leg, like a little bruise, because you would think, oh, they're gonna think, like people are gonna think that I'm hurting them, or I've dropped them or something, and it really puts pressure on teenage parents. And now I don't think you should do that, because anybody's child could be like that. As a young parent, my message to you is always wear contraception and never say it's not going to happen to you. It's just not worth the risk. Don't rush into having kids. There's plenty of time. Do what you want to do first. Now I've got really big ideas of what I want to do. I'd love to work with young people in the care system so they could learn from my experiences. I feel I've achieved a lot to get where I am today. Go.
I love you, you love me. We are one big family with a big hug and a kiss for you to me. I love Mommy very much.
That's my self-portrait. What's yours?